Hello, my name is Travis Newell. I live and work here at Shambhala Mountain Center, where we're going to be hosting a Qigong program coming up in November. Qigong for the seasons, and it's going to be winter Qigong. Leading that is going to be Ron Davis, who's a longtime teacher and licensed acupuncturist. He's been in clinical practice in that realm since 1984 and has taught Qigong, Tai Chi, spinal healthcare classes for more than 20 years. He's a certified Qigong instructor as well as a medical Qigong teacher for a professional continuing education credit from the National Commission for the Certification of Acupuncture and Oriental Medicine. I feel like I wasted a lot of chi saying that. Maybe I didn't waste it, but it was a lot. He's well qualified, in other words. Dr. Davis is committed to helping those learn how to improve their health by using Qigong meditation and dietary guidelines. He's the author of a forthcoming book, Qigong for the Seasons, and so glad to have him with us today for some discussion related to his teachings and Qigong in general and the retreat that he's going to be leading. So Ron, thanks so much for taking the time to have some conversation today.
Happy to be here, Travis. How are things there in the Shambhala Wonderland?
We're transitioning into fall, so the leaves are brilliant yellow at this point on the aspen trees. The breeze is cool. It gets dark before dinner time, and we just moved into our cozy little dining hall from, where we eat in the summertime. We eat outside at the picnic tables. Now we're nice and cozy in our little dining hall, so it feels good. The fall is really happening now.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful time of year. I'm really looking forward to coming back to Shambhala Mountain in November. It'll be wonderful.
Yeah, and speaking of seasons and transitions, this is the theme of the retreats that you're going to be leading in the coming months here. And maybe we could start by you saying something about that. To begin with, maybe for some folks who are not familiar with Qigong, maybe a brief comment about what Qigong is all about, and then in particular, Qigong for the seasons. What does that even mean?
Yeah, sure. Well, Qigong has always been concerned with improving health. It's an ancient practice. It's gone by various names in the past. But it has a history going all the way back 4,000 years to shamanic rituals. And all through the research and development of Chinese medicine for the last 2,000 or 3,000 years, Qigong has always been a part of that, right up to the present day. So really, in a nutshell, most Qigong practices use body movement, regulated breathing, and mental intention to enhance and circulate our vital energy, all for better health. A lot of people talk about different styles of Qigong, and they can all broadly be classified into two different styles, basically Yang and Yin. The Yang style is called external Qigong, and that's really for developing strength and flexibility and tonification of the muscles, tissues, connective tissues, and bones. Internal Qigong is more aimed at improving the health of the internal organs. So we're concerned with the circulation of qi, the circulation of blood, and internally developing an awareness of our spiritual connection to everything in nature, to all sentient beings. So what I'm teaching at Shambhala Mountain Center, a winter Qigong, is part of a series, as you said, and that's really an aspect of internal Qigong. Sometimes it's called health Qigong, sometimes it's called medical Qigong. That's what I'll be doing there.
And I wonder if you might say something. You mentioned it's working with subtle energies, and for folks who maybe have just tried a little bit of Qigong and maybe you're used to something like Hatha Yoga, where you're working with subtle energies as well. There's also something really, I think, blatant and obvious about bending over to touch your toes or standing on your head. Something's definitely happening. And sometimes in Qigong, it's like you're just sort of standing there in a posture, and it's not so obvious that something is happening. Do you ever have people who are just sort of not feeling it, like not feeling this? And if so, what do you what do you say to those people, or how do you guide them?
Right. Well, the short answer on that is keep practicing, because it does come. It really does come. I mean, I've been doing this since 1985. And actually, my very first experience with Qigong was in a harbor in Los Angeles. And I definitely felt a connection between the sand I was standing on and the water. But for your question, I think it is such a subtle experience when you're working internally. Now, external Qigong is, you might say it's similar to yoga. There is such a thing as Taoist yoga. So people would tend to really feel the effects of that much more quickly and more emphatically than they will with internal work. So the internal work requires a certain amount of dedication. That's what the word gong means in Qigong. Gong is like gong fu. It means you're developing something worthwhile with perseverance over a period of time. So with Qigong, we're developing our intrinsic energy, the Qi, with a prolonged practice. And those people that don't feel anything right away, I will sometimes modify the practice for them, or I might suggest a different practice for them that, based on what I feel about them, would more quickly bring them into that Qi field, so to speak. And they can understand the feeling of Qi circulating in their bodies. That's really what it's all about, is the circulation of Qi and blood throughout the body and the mind.
And so how does that manifest outside of one's formal practice? You said keep practicing, so there seems to be something really important to begin with having a regular practice, maybe daily or several times a week, something like that. And what sort of shifts or differences might someone begin to notice, in the times of their life when they're not in formal practice? Like how is it helpful?
Yeah. Well, I spend a lot of time in my clinic. I'm a chiropractor, an acupuncturist, practitioner of Chinese medicine. So anytime I interact with people in the clinical setting, there is an energetic exchange between me and them that has been developed and refined through my Qigong practice. But I think anybody that has spent some time in a dedicated practice of Qigong, say even only a few months, I think these people will feel when they are in the presence of others that they will definitely feel this energetic field both on the individual level, the other person's field, as well as their own, and then this general field that is generated by your proximity. And the more you practice Qigong, the more you actually feel that energetic connection with all sentient beings. So I think that's very helpful in daily life.
It seems like actually feeling the energies of others could make life more challenging as well.
Well, of course it could. That's the beauty of life, is challenges. That's what we want, to grow spiritually. We want to do Qigong, with perseverance and effort. We want to develop the energy. So yeah, of course there's always difficulties. Well, that's what makes us human beings. But I believe that the practice of Qigong and meditation, my programs are always, it's not just Qigong, it's also meditation and also some other components of that. But the practice, your own personal practice, will help you surmount any of those kind of difficulties, or help you deal with them in a more genuine way.
And so, for those who participate in your retreats, could you maybe describe what occurs in the retreat itself? You started to say a little bit about it there, where there's meditation as well as Qigong. So maybe a little bit about what those retreats are like,
Sure.
and what people may be able to take with them and start applying.
Sure. Yeah, well, there's basically three factors to the class. One is Qigong exercises that are very specific for the energy that's happening at that time of the year. The other factor is meditation, likewise, for the energy of that time of the year. And then I also talked quite a bit about diet and the use of foods and herbs that are very helpful in staying in tune with the energetic changes of nature. For example, like in winter Qigong, which is what I'm teaching in November at Shambhala Mountain Center, the organ network that is most easily influenced during winter is the kidney network. So attendees at that class will learn Qigong exercises that are focused on enhancing the health of the kidneys. And within the kidney network, you have bones, bone marrow, the spinal column, and the brain. So this time of the year, in winter, the energy of nature is coming downwards and inwards in all aspects of nature. And likewise within us. So during winter, this energy comes down and settles around the kidneys. It sinks to the core of the body, which is the bone marrow. So these are things we're going to deal with and learn how to enhance with Qigong exercises. Likewise, there will be meditations and contemplations during the class that, again, focus on the very central conduit of energy flow in the body. It's called the Tai Chi axis. It runs from the top of the head to the perineum. So we're doing visualizations and meditations that help to open up that conduit of flow. And likewise, there are certain foods, there are certain herbs that will help the same thing, that help to generate and nourish the jing energy, which is most important during winter. Jing is one of the three treasures of Chinese medicine: Jing, Qi, and Shen. And Jing is the physical matrix of your body. It's the energy that helps you develop physically. When the Jing is gone, the body is gone. So during winter, we would really want to focus on the preservation of Jing. And we can do that with food and herbs. We can do that with meditation. And we can do that with Qigong exercises.
Sounds it did, yeah, and more so. And something I was hoping you'd talk more about the seasonal aspect of this, because especially myself living at Shambhala Mountain Center, the seasons are quite pronounced. Winter is very winter,
Yes.
and so it's recently, after going through a full year here, become quite tangible, like the shifts in energy. And so having practices and wisdom that actually applies to that seems really precious and something that may be lacking in a lot of our lives. So that's awesome. And I wonder if if there was anything that you didn't say about the particular retreat that you would like to.
Well, first of all, as I understand, I think we meet Friday evening for a short time, and then all day Saturday, and then Sunday morning. So first of all, what I really want to try to get across, and this will probably be Saturday morning, is learning the Qigong exercises. So I'm going to present the exercises, and there'll be a lot of time for practice, lots of repetition, because I really want people to be comfortable in their knowledge and their execution of the exercises before they leave on Sunday. So lots of practice. Probably Saturday afternoon, we'll start to get more into the meditations that are linked to winter, as I mentioned earlier. And then, of course, we'll keep practicing the Qigong. We'll practice the meditations on Saturday. On Sunday, I'll get more into the diet and winter herbs. And I've always got handouts, recipes that people actually love quite a bit. All of this information is going to come out in my book that should be published in January. It's called Qigong Through the Seasons, coming out by Singing Dragon. So all of this information is going to be in that book in detail. But I want to make this retreat at that wonderful mountain center, something very practical for people. I
Mm.
want to make it something that they've got a lot of take-home information. They practice it for 3 months of winter, and then we come back in spring, in February, and we go into spring Qigong.
It's awesome. Sounds like a great weekend and a nice setup for something ongoing. So yeah, really looking forward to hosting you up here. We all are, and for anybody who's tuning in who may end up coming. Once again, the program is Qigong for the Seasons, and it's the first in going to be a series of programs. And this is Winter Qigong. Ron Davis, who's been speaking with us, is going to be leading, and that's going to be happening up here at Shambhala Mountain Center from November 14th through the 16th. And you can check out our website, shambhalamountain.org, for more information on that program and all sorts of other programs that we're going to be leading in the coming months. And you can also find more interviews like this on the website, on the SMC blog. So, Ron, thank you so much once again for joining us. That was really insightful and cool.
No, you're welcome, Travis, and I hope to see you there for Winter Qigong.
I will be here. Yeah, I'll be all bundled up at that time, I'm sure. So yeah, thanks again, and thanks to everyone for tuning in, watching, or listening. Please stay tuned for more of these things, and please enjoy your day. Bye.